What is going on, 49ers faithful? Welcome to another episode of the 49ers Rush Podcast. I'm your host, as always, John Chapman. Now, we are diving in today, and this is a reactionary pod to a previous podcast that I did, talking about Trey Lance and the excitement that he brings and why 49ers faithful should be excited. In the description of this video, I will link that if you want to go back if you missed that. Now, here's the issue, okay? So I did a 5-part series on things to be excited about the 49ers future. And the number one reason I put is Trey Lance. Obviously, everybody should be excited about this kid. The upside, the character, the work ethic, the traits, all those things are great. And I put out a Twitter poll to try to, again, I always like to kind of gauge and see where the fan base is. Not that Twitter's an exact representation of anything, but I do think that it's telling. So I'm going to show this right now if you're watching this. I just posted very simple poll, 4 answers. What excites you most about Trey Lance? I put return of the deep ball, 11 on 11 in the run game, fewer turnovers, mobility. Now, the results were staggering. Return of the deep ball. Chicks dig the deep ball. Hashtag Greg Maddux. I think like 5 people might have got that joke. It's an old Sports Center commercial way back when Sports Center was amazing. But 59% wanted the deep ball, 28%, close to 29% mobility, 7% 11 versus 11 in the run game, and only 4% said fewer turnovers. Now, not that any of those are wrong or incorrect answers, and that's not really even why I wanted to do this extra piece. Rather, the comments section kind of blew up and people started posting, Jimmy Truthers. Again, if you post anything about Trey Lance, you're going to get the Jimmy haters and Jimmy Truthers. It's just what it is. That's okay. You're a fan. You be a fan or dislike whoever you want as long as you root for the 49ers. But people started posting GIFs and memes and making fun of me, saying, who thinks there's going to be fewer turnovers with Trey Lance? You're insane. You're joking. Are you crazy? All these different things. And so then I thought, hey, okay, maybe I'm missing something. I love Trey Lance. I've seen every snap he's ever played from college on, multiple times probably. So I understand that, yes, it is different in the NFL than it is college. So, okay, cool. Let's throw my past bias out, okay? Let's just look at the snapshot that was a snap per snap basis this year, 2021. Luckily, you can dive into all those things, right? And so Jimmy Garoppolo in 2021, just this season with the postseason regular season, he played 1,085 snaps. Okay, he had 23 turnovers, counting interceptions and fumbles. It's not. I understand that. I understand that there's ways you can skew this data, but I wanted to take all kind of whatever out of it. These are the results. He played this many snaps, 1,085. He had this many turnovers. That equals 2.11% turnovers per play. So for every 100 plays, he's going to have 2 turnovers. Okay. Then I was like, all right, well, maybe 2019 was different. Let's look at that. In 2019, he played 1,232 snaps, so more. Obviously, he didn't miss as much time, and we got the extra game of the Super Bowl. He had 26 turnovers, which equals, get this, 2.11% turnovers per play. The exact same percentage. He averaged 2.11% in his only 2 full years of starting. That's what he is. That's what we're talking. It's not a small sample size. This is over 2,300 snaps on a team that made it to the Super Bowl and a team that made it to the NFC Championship game. All right. Now, let's flip the script. Let's look at Trey Lance. Trey Lance in 2021, he only played 179 snaps. It's a small sample size. I understand that. He had 2 turnovers. That comes out to a 1.11% turnovers per play. And again, you look at the college state, it justifies what we saw with the literally half as many turnovers per play, right? Jimmy Garoppolo, 2.11% in back-to-back seasons as a full starter. You have Trey Lance, 1.11%. And 179 snaps, yeah, for a quarterback, that's small, but it's not like like he played 10 plays or whatever. The kid started 2 games and got snaps throughout the rest of the year. So I think this is interesting. Now, before I jump over because I got some clap back on that. And so I want to allow them, the haters, to respond and provide some more data. But before we do this, y'all got to check this out. All right, guys, excited to tell you about the Giant Cocktails podcast. It's a weekly podcast where they cover the San Francisco Giants, which, man, we need that now more than ever. And these are two great dudes, Ben and Matthew. They're awesome. And they start every single episode where they make some unique type of cocktail. Then they go on these alcohol-fueled rants about baseball and all these things. So head over there. It's awesome. It's a very fun podcast. Really feels like you're just hanging out with, two really cool guys. And they go through everything. And, one of my favorite things about sports podcasts, maybe I'm not that good at this, is just the comedy and the camaraderie that they bring about this. So get caught up with the Giants while learning how to make great tasting cocktails. And I'm telling you this, it doesn't get better than this. If you haven't checked it out yet, head over there, wherever you get your audio podcast, Giant Cocktails Podcast. Trust me, they're worth the effort. Go check it out. You're going to love it, and let them know the 49ers Rush podcast sent you. All right. So what happened is, people start saying it's a small sample size when he's a full starter, all those things, blah, 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 blah. Okay, cool. That's fine. And that could be true. It is quite possible that Trey Lance has way more turnovers at a higher percentage than Jimmy Garoppolo did, and that's whenever he's full-time. Well, we can't tell that right now. We can infer, right? You can add, you can look at it and provide analysis and guess and interpret and all those things. Well, let's look back on Jimmy G then. Has he had seasons with smaller sample sizes? And guess what? He has. And guess what? It didn't change anything. So in 2017, right, Jimmy Garoppolo had 351 snaps, 5 turnovers. Still larger sample size than Trey has had this year, though. I will say that. 1.42% turnovers per play. So still higher, considerably. 2018, right? Jimmy didn't play much. That's when he tore his ACL. He played 197 snaps, almost identical, right? So Trey Lance 2021, 179 snaps. You look at Jimmy Garoppolo 2018, 197 snaps, 3 turnovers, 1.52% turnovers per play. All right, let's go to 2020. Another small sample size, 305 snaps for Jimmy Garoppolo, 5 turnovers. Guess what? 1.63% turnovers per play. So at no point in 5 different years, some small sample size, some larger, did he ever get close to what Trey Lance was putting out. And somebody sitting there saying like, oh man, what's the difference between 1.1% and 2.1%? Well, that means for every 100 plays, that's an extra turnover. Every 100 plays. There's usually 60 to 70 plays per game, which basically comes out to, if you're going to play 3 games, he's going to have 2 more turnovers. Jimmy Garoppolo is. And I think that's important. Whenever, and this, understand this. I am not trying to do a Jimmy Garoppolo bash session. That's not what this is by any stretch of the imagination. What I am trying to do is go back, and again, I'll show this again. What excites you during the offseason? Things get toxic on social media and podcasts and whatever else. I am trying to shift that focus into something that is much more constructive and positive, shifting away. This didn't set. Maybe I did. Maybe I unintentionally put something on there that was negative towards Jimmy Garoppolo. Was not my intention whatsoever. I have Jimmy Garoppolo jerseys, plural. My kids have Jimmy Garoppolo jerseys. I'm pretty sure my wife loves Jimmy Garoppolo. I'm not an anti-Jimmy guy. I am a pro-Trey guy, and I'm a pro-49ers guy. If Jimmy Garoppolo is the quarterback and, for some reason we can't trade him or whatever, that's fine. And I'm going to be very, very happy. However, there are some skills or lack of skills that he brings that Trey doesn't have, and that's protecting the ball. Remember, Trey Lance had 0 turnovers for an entire season in college. Is that going to happen in the NFL? No. But one of the things I think it shows, and why I wanted to post this, is I think people are missing. Yeah, the big arm's awesome. The mobility, the size, the strength, the work ethic, all those things are great. But what makes Tom Brady Tom Brady? It's not that he has a strong arm. It's not that he's fast. He is pretty big. but it's because he has protected the ball and makes good decisions. The most important position in pro sports is quarterback. And I'm not saying that Trey Lance is going to be like up there on that level. However, with what we have seen from him thus far, he has protected the ball better in a 21-year-old part-time backup starter than Jimmy Garoppolo has at any point in his career. And I think that's something to be excited about. And I think that's a positive, not a negative. I love me some Jimmy, and I'm going to root for Jimmy wherever he does go, whenever he finally is traded or whatever. And I'm very thankful for what Jimmy has done for this team. But that does not mean that we can't be excited about this kid that I think is going to protect the ball better. Now, again, I could be wrong. But the data in my eyes and the film analysis says otherwise. Thanks for watching, guys. Really appreciate it.